Hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of the Shooting Show, and friends, welcome to this week's program. It's a beautiful spring day here in Louisiana. Got a little cloud, a few clouds up there on the horizon, but that's not so bad. You know, spring is here, and the bad news is soon it'll be summer when the evil United Nations is going to be meeting to further refine their plans for disarming all of us. You know, friends, it's really not about the different style of gun, whether we're talking about this G3 and 308 or we're talking about a nylon 66 or maybe even our 460 MECTEC. It's really not that, because see, even in Northern Ireland, it's been well proven that even a single shot 22 can be sometimes used as an effective weapon. You know, someone said, well, Johnny, small arms really don't matter anymore. If they don't matter, why do the globalists want to take them away from us so badly? If our freedom is not important, why do the globalists want to take that away from us so badly as well? And friends, right now, we're still losing that fight. Yes, we've had a little breather, at least for a few months, because waiting for the newest legislation to hit. And the usual suspects are hard at it again, and they're working right in conjunction with the evil United Nations on wanting to disarm us as citizens. We're citizens. We're not subjects. We're citizens. And see, that just sticks in the craw of the globalist. Well, I don't aim to be a subject. I don't think you do either. That's why we're here. That's why we're here, why we talk about the things we do on this program. It's why we demonstrate the things that we do on this program. I'll tell you what, speaking of single shot 22s, no, it's not a G3. But what do you think that those folks that over in Rwanda, 500,000 people that got cut up with machetes, what do you think they would have given for single shot 22s, or for that matter, anything that went bang? Well, friends, we're in this fight, you and I. If you're watching our program, oh no, there'll always be a few people that'll be watching our program that are anti-gun, just see what we're up to. But that's okay. You know, some of them might even be converted one day. I don't know, maybe not, but you know, they're always going to be out there. We're always going to have people that are going to want to disarm us, no matter what. And you know what? If we don't think enough of our freedom, and that's what it's really about, much more than guns. It's about freedom. If we don't think enough of our freedom to fight for it, to try and preserve it, to take care of it, maybe we don't deserve it. Well, some of us do. Some of us do. That's why we're here, friends. That's why we have fought tooth and nail to stay on the air, because we are Gun TV. We are the #1 shooting program in the world. You know why we're #1? Is because we're not censored as far as what we can say. We're going to tell the truth. And I'm glad there are some other programs that feature guns. I'm glad they're out there. But you know, those other programs are censored by the people who run them. They're censored by people in offices saying, oh, we don't want to get the United Nations mad at us. We don't want to make anybody mad. Well, isn't it time we made somebody mad? Aren't we, as citizens, angry about what's happening to our country? If we're not, we ought to be. Some of us are. Some of us are not going to be subjects. I hope that we can count you in that number. I hope so. Friends, we're struggling to stay here. We have something, if we get time on later in today's program, we have an idea that may be helpful to the whole project. We'll be talking about that a little bit later. But I tell you, let's go ahead and mention we need your help before we get started. We need your help. No, our sponsors don't, they can't pay it all. They can't, by themselves, they can't keep us on, just like our audience. It takes everything we can do. The commissions on our 460 kits, please tell somebody, if they got a 1911, tell them about our 460 kit, or certainly about the MECTECs, because every one of these we sell, it helps us stay on the air. If you can help us stay here, please sit down and write a check, because we're not going to quit. You know, we work pretty hard. And if I could figure out something else to do, we're working on that. I'll do that too. But our radio programs have been a wonderful blessing for this project. They've helped us all. Everything works together, friends. That's why we need every one of you who's out there. We need every one of you. And you certainly are extremely important to us. You know our standard address, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Beverly, Louisiana, the zip code 71024, if you can help us. if you can, because it is extremely hard to stay here. Well, let's get another shooting. Let's start with our mech tech. Hey, you know, we were inside last week because it just rained all week. We're out today. Let's have some fun. Like I said, have some fun.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, this is the new Georgia Arms 20th anniversary catalog. Of course, has a memorial there to our good friend Jim Clark there on the cover. This is a terrific catalog from the finest ammunition maker in the United States. They have all kinds of great prices on all sorts of ammunition: 243 Winchester, 270s, 7.62 by 39 Russian, all kinds of great stuff. They've even got 308 tracers, 30-06 tracers, all kinds of neat stuff here in this great new Georgia Arms catalog. They have components if you want to load your own ammo, and look here, we've got the Shooting Show in our new 460 Rowland kit on sale as well. Georgia Arms has the best prices for custom grade ammunition that I'm aware of in the United States, and guess what else? They're helping to support our Shooting Show. Friends, give them a call today. Free phone call, free catalog, 1-800-624-6861, 1-800-624-6861, Georgia Arms, and please remember to tell them that you heard it and saw it here on our program. Now, friends, we're looking at certainly the full-size G3, and then underneath it we have the Nylon 66 22 long rifle semi-automatic. Then we have our trusty old Winchester, a single-shot 22, and we have one more gun that is an extremely important gun, and here it is. This is the little CZ Scout 22 long rifle bolt action. Probably shoot the others as well, I don't know, but for our purposes today we're using 22 long rifle ammunition. This is an extremely well-made little gun. Let's take a look at it. It, of course, is a bolt action, has some very unique features. Now we'll look, here we have a thumb type safety, very effective but very nicely made in the Czech Republic, and this is a relatively, go ahead and open the action here, relatively inexpensive gun, and something most unique I'll show you. It has a single shot magazine. It only holds one round loaded from the top there, and this is so you can train your son or daughter or someone new to shooting of smaller stature. It has a 16.5-inch barrel, and then when they progress, guess what? You can get a magazine that will hold more cartridges. So this is really a great idea, if you ask me. Certainly a great training tool here. There we go, just snap it in place. And you see, you just insert the top or insert the shell right there on top of the single shot magazine. Now then, this gun has provisions for scope mount, and we'll tell you why a little bit later. And another great feature on this particular little gun, when your smaller one outgrows this little gun, guess what? You can order a larger stock for it. The action will fit in a larger stock. So as they grow, well, you can lengthen certainly the stock length here, or you can increase the length of pull. This is a great idea, very well thought out. And the folks in the Czech Republic have been making extremely high quality guns for a long time, and this little Scout from CZ is no exception. You see, here is when a younger person can learn all about the basics of handling a bolt action repeater, but we have the safety of the single shot in younger hands, which is a great idea. Something else that really has impressed me about this gun, I got my little magnet here. Every piece on this gun, with the exception of the magazine, which is plastic, I mean, this thing is steel. The screws, the trigger housing, everything is steel. The sights are steel. Now that impresses me. This little thing is solid. No pot metal anywhere on this thing in any of the working pots. Very high quality. You'll notice we have the hooded front sight, and I'll be the first to admit the sights are somewhat rudimentary. Go ahead and push our bolt forward. There we go. Push our bolt forward. The sights are somewhat rudimentary, but some people like the little hood down there. What it does, it protects the front sight because it is a tall and very well defined front sight. The rear sight here is adjustable. It's certainly drift adjustable for windage, and see the little detents there, see the little grooves there. You push it up, and then this little piece here slides forward to adjust for elevation. Very, very nicely thought out. Of course, a lot of people are going to want to scope this gun, and we'll show you why in just a minute. I see, friends, yeah, it's hard. It's hard for an adult, but people of smaller stature could really enjoy this little gun. We got this from Clark Custom Guns, and I am so impressed because it is so nicely made. There is quality evident just all over the little gun. Has an excellent trigger pull, and in fact, looking at it as in comparison to the full-size 22, it looks like a pint-sized version, of course, but let me tell you, it's not pint-sized when it comes to quality. And honestly, friends, if we don't start our youngsters out, and I know I was shooting when I was 5 or 6 years old, maybe before that. Certainly I remember it from that point. No, I didn't walk around with a gun at that age, but the time I was 8 or 9, I was trustworthy with a gun. And we've got to teach them as little kids if they're going to grow up to be enthusiasts. Now, the anti-gun people are hoping that they can brainwash these school children into thinking that guns are evil. But this is such a perfect training tool. You just insert the bullet in the little channel in the magazine there, close the bolt, and yes, I have my hearing protection in because even a 22 shot over long periods will damage your hearing. And watch, has just almost, has a little bit of recoil, which is good for the youngster to understand that there's going to be something happen when you pull the trigger. It has dual extractors. In fact, let me show you this bolt. The way you take the bolt out, of course, check it, be sure it's empty. You pull the trigger at the bolt's rearward travel and just take it out. Easy for cleaning. Let me show you this bolt. Precision machining all over. Very, very nicely done. See how the safety works when this is the striker indicator here, and when it's in the cock position, all you have to just push the safety forward for safe. But I really like this. It has dual extractors. I like that. It's really going to ensure reliable functioning. It's very, very positive and forward extraction. Very nicely done machine surfaces here. And of course, to reinsert into the action, you just pull the trigger, put it in place. Now then, turn the trigger loose, and that's how it works. Here is your magazine release just in front of the magazine right here. Take it right out if you so desire for cleaning. And of course, when the new shooter progresses to in their ability somewhat, you can purchase a magazine that holds more cartridges. In fact, this one doesn't hold any. It just serves for the single shot, but such a great idea from CZ.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
One of the most decent men ever to come to Washington was treated by the Democrats as if he threatened the social order and the Constitution itself. Among those in the lynch mob were the strident voices of Handgun Control Incorporated. Now, Handgun Control's hysteria might have been understandable if John Ashcroft were an assault rifle waving militia maniac, if there is such a person. But Ashcroft's record on guns in the Senate was actually quite middle of the road. Indeed, Gun Owners of America graded the senator with a C-. He earned such an anemic grade by voting to shut down gun shows and criminalize even the touching of a gun by someone under the age of 21. On a non-binding resolution sponsored by Barbara Boxer to free up the gun control bill that was stuck in the Senate, Boxer actually went to the Senate floor waving a letter from Gun Owners of America. She was incensed that we refused to go along with her compromise. Only 5 Republicans agreed with Boxer, but among them, John Ashcroft. That being said, it is all the more surprising that Ashcroft was likened by Handgun Control Chairman, former Congressman Michael Barnes, to Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber. In case you're wondering what in the world Mr. Barnes and Handgun Control were thinking, I'll tell you right now. Senator Ashcroft had in the past said that he understood the Second Amendment to be a protection of an individual right intended by the Founding Fathers to ensure that the people had the means to resist tyranny in government. This view was labeled by the Honorable Mr. Barnes as the widely discredited, extremist insurrectionist view of the Second Amendment held by Timothy McVeigh. I was amazed to hear what Handgun Control was doing to the history of our country. They have brazenly attempted to link the views of a terrorist to the beliefs of George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. Consider these words from the Declaration of Independence, penned by Jefferson and unanimously approved by the other 55 signers of the document. Whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, unalienable rights, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it. When a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government. What are we to think of an organization that thinks that the American Declaration of Independence is a terrorist document? If Handgun Control had had it their way, we all would still be British subjects of a tyrannical crown. Handgun Control is so far from the mainstream of American history that they fail to see that it was the British who were the terrorists. They shot women and children, and worse, it was the Continental Army and the American militia who fought a defensive war. But then Handgun Control is against personal self-defense too. From Washington, this is Larry Pratt for Gun Owners of America.
For more information on Gun Owners of America, you can call them, free phone call, 888-886-GUNS, 888-886-4867, or you can find them on the internet at gunowners.org. Remember, friends, they're helping us to stay on the air. Let's please support them as well. Now, friends, we were shooting this little gun at 25 yards off the bench and realized that we're having to use these somewhat coarse open sights. But to give you an idea of what the little gun will do, let me show you. Let's take a close look at this target. Now, this is one we actually shot with some target ammo, and it still did pretty well. It's under 1.5 inches, which is pretty good at 25 yards, but this is the one I am so proud of. We shot this with CCI mini mags. Now, friends, notice that is smaller than the first joint on my finger. That is a one-hole, 5-shot group at 25 yards with these open sights. And honestly, I can't see better than that. So with a scope, there's no telling what the little CZ will do. But that is absolutely amazing performance. Certainly even under 1/2 inch, certainly 1/2 inch or less at 25 yards with these open sights, which just impressed me to no end. You know, Matt over at Clark's had told me that these things were really nice guns. This little gun retails as is for just under $200, which is, if you ask me, that's a terrific bargain, because performance like this, it'll shoot rings around so many other bargain price 22s. In fact, this little gun would be up with a pretty good target gun. Like I said, I'd like to see one scoped and see what the gun would do. Just a phenomenal performance, and you can repeat it over and over again. This is such a great training tool, friends, so well thought out. And honestly, these are such important guns, because if we don't teach the little ones gun safety, if we don't teach the little ones how to shoot, how to maintain what guns are about, you know, in a few years, we won't have any guns left in society, because they'll be brainwashed by the educational system, by the anti-gun people, by the ideals of the evil United Nations. And the UN is an evil organization. So anyway, friends, take it for what it's worth. This is a terrific little gun. Like I said, this one is on sale at Clark's for just under $200 retail. And they may be, I'm sure they're scattered all around the country, but this is exciting to find a small gun like this, so good for instructing new shooters, teaching new shooters how guns work, teaching children about gun safety, respect for what they are, and all the safety aspects it has. This one gets an A+ rating from us here on the program.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
For folding stocks, for pistol grips, for regular stocks, for replacement stocks, for magazine extension tubes for your shotgun, for magazine replacement springs for your shotgun. How about the executive eye scraper, the executive letter opener, all from Choate Machine & Tool when you call for a free catalog. You can get the executive letter opener, a multi-purpose tool, or the executive eye scraper, a multi-purpose tool, for only your choice, only $2 when you call for a free Choate catalog. You can get both of them for $4, a $10 value. Friends, if you're a shooter or a gun owner, you need one of the Choate Machine & Tool Company catalogs. Call them today, 1-800-972-6390. In Ball Knob, Arkansas, they're helping to support our project. You need one of their catalogs. Again, 1-800-972-6390. And please remember to tell them that you saw it here on our show. You know, the 44 Magnum is a great cartridge, but it has a lot of noise and a lot of recoil. Wouldn't it be nice to have the same power level in the slim and compact and lightweight 1911 style gun? Same power level, not nearly as much or recoil. You can have it with our pistol kit. Here's the 45 Auto on a water bottle target. Now let's shoot the other target with the same gun fitted with our 460 Rowland pistol kit. Or how about the power of this lever action rifle in a lightweight, handy semi-automatic carbine? The 460 Rowland MECTEC carbine conversion unit for the 1911 frame is only $345 plus shipping, and the 460 Rowland pistol kit for the 1911 pistol is only $275 plus shipping.
And now for our support group, we have Custom Leatherwork and Saddlery in Denham Springs, Louisiana. We have Brooks Communication in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We have Dennis Crocker Firearms Training and Grass Information there in South Carolina. We have Gearlings Heavy Equipment Rentals there in Southern California. And we have Mike and Sherry Harris Pilot Services and Consulting in South Carolina as well. Now then, friends, due to popular demand, we're going to go back and revisit the story from E.J. Colvin on last week's show.
I thought, well, I had a little clutch purse with my change. I was fixing to go make the phone call. I just tucked it in my purse and went up to make my phone call and made my phone call and was hanging up the phone, and someone walked up behind me and put something in my back and said, "Don't turn around, go straight to that blue van in front of you." Well, blind. I thought somebody walked up behind me that I knew. This was a joke because this was a well-traveled road. It was 2:30 in the afternoon. There was plenty of people there when I got out of the car. And the sun was shining. There was, I just thought it was a joke. And so I started laughing. And he wanted to know why I was laughing. And then I said, well, you're not serious. And he said, yes, I am serious. He said, I have a gun. And I thought I'd play along. So I said, I have one too. Well, I had my hand in my purse where I had put my change from the payphone. And he said, show it to me. By him saying that, he obviously thought that I was kidding. So I put my hand around my pistol, which was already in my purse, and careful not to put my hand on the trigger, just to pull it out. And then I pulled it around and turned towards him, and it was right in his belly button. And it was someone I did not know, had never seen before in my life. And he threw his hands up he had pockets on a little sweatshirt jacket and with a hood, and he pulled his hands out, so I didn't know if he had anything in his pockets, a knife or gun or whatever. And he started just backing up. Well, my first instinct was to get help. The place had been packed with people before, and there was nobody, absolutely nobody there. And I thought, well, now I have him, what am I going to do with him? But this was quite a few years ago, and I thought, well, if I shoot him and there's nothing in his pockets, then I'm going to be at fault. I thought, well, should I shoot him in the foot? I didn't really know what to do. It was just kind of a moment frozen in time. And he just kept backing up to a point, and then he just broke and ran. And so, but he did go to the blue van that he had asked me to go to, and I firmly believe that had I not had this pistol with me and had I not put it in my purse, that I wouldn't be here today. To let you know what type of person he was, he had on this sweatshirt jacket, a t-shirt, and he had on very, very short shorts. And the reason I remember it so graphically, it had Northwestern State University on it, which is where I went to school. But they had been cut off, and he was exposed.
Oh,
so,
my word.
his intentions were not what they, just to be having fun.
Yeah.